Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk some shit tonight, baby. Mm-hmm. So, welcome. This is Lace We here. We're here to have a good time. Let's break some bread. What we do in this channel, first of all, disclaimer, you know what I'm saying? I gotta give it up. If you see the lightning here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always think I've been shining, you know what I'm saying? Until, you know what I'm saying, Tay, you know what I'm saying, my younger brother, you know what I'm saying, he actually decided, he saw what I was doing. I guess the motherfucker like, okay, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's where you wanna go? Okay, that's what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? So he actually got me like this lightning thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying out this shit for the first time, you know what I'm saying? So if you see me any brighter than I've always been, so hold that nigga accountable for that shit. Nigga named Teddy. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog though, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate the gift. Now, let's talk some shit, right? So let's be here. What we do in this channel, we talk about spirituality. And the way that I go about spirituality, as I always say, and as a friendly reminder, but most importantly, I'm trying to emphasize that shit into your mind, is that spirituality is not separate from your personal life. The purpose of spirituality is to pretty much include it into your life. Okay? So to materialize, because you are physical and non physical. So, now with that being said, so that's what we do here. So we always break bread, get a plate. We got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? But just so you guys know, I mean, if this is your first time, welcome. There's no but. I mean, I didn't mean to say but. hmm Welcome. If this is not your first time, well, motherfucker, welcome back. You're always welcome back. You already know. So, you know what I'm saying? By now, should expect you to, you know what I'm saying, be like, nigga, you get that thing for me? I sure do. So let's talk about it. So pretty much I talk about the ego, I talk about the false self, and I talk about the true self. And in so many words, I have described what the false self is, which is pretty much based on your emotional pattern as a kid, the way you were brought up, and also external bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you created a persona, in so many words, like, now, if you want to be accepted, what you got to do. That's why, they have this society thing. The society thing is actually constructed around the false self, because there's a certain expectation on how you have to act for you to be recognized, or either, whatever the fuck that standard is. So, hmm So pretty much that's where that shit came from, right? So we also talk about, the foundation, or the actual motivation behind, the false self. It's pleasing other people. It's not for you looking within and trying to determine the things that moves you and kind of like act accordingly to those things. So it's that easy, though. It is. I mean, what the fuck else? Like, shit. Yeah. But unfortunately, due to a lot of training that we went through over the years, right? So even though you might be hearing what I'm saying, it kind of makes sense, but yet you're not making it make sense because you're not actualizing that. Mm-hmm. Have no fear. Buddy's here. L'Esprit's here. That's where I come in. Okay? So pretty much, letting you know, nigga, you good. Okay, we understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because I done went through it myself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So now we here talking about it. I mean, despite of, it's our purpose. That's what we came here to do. But most importantly, too, like I mean, I felt like, you have a lot of talk shows, whatever the fuck it is. But I mean, I mean, what's the better thing to talk about besides this? About you, the person that you are, and understanding yourself, the mystery behind yourself, and the reason why you're here. I mean, I really don't see anything else worth, more than this, to be honest. And no bitches fucking over niggas, none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Relationship, yeah, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to you, though. You know what I'm saying? Our life here. What does it mean? What are we here for? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, baby. That's all I'm saying. So, mhm. Now with that being said, a quick recap pretty much of everything I've been talking about so far. So I talk about the ego. If this is your first time, scroll down or, what I'm saying, check out those videos and shit. I talk about the false self in so many words that I've been pretty much talking about just now, and also the true self, right? So the true self is pretty much that self, that part of you, right? That is that is specifically made for you. Yo, this is for you, dog. That's what makes you you. And everybody is unique, and when you kind of go by that understanding, it's a whole different ways of looking at things. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no competition. There's no um I don't know, like, well, I do know, but it's just so much. You see what I'm saying? It's just so much. I don't even know which way to go. But again, if you watch my other videos, but again, that's not my goal here. Also, so it's pretty much giving you a quick recap of what the true self, whatever, whatever. So, hello, a second. You know what I'm saying? We're sipping. Saturday night, my brother gave me, you know what I'm saying, some, what I'm saying, this nigga trying to make me look brighter. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. Still sharp and still. Appreciate you, King. You're all right. You know what I'm saying? You're all right. You're all right. You got it from your older brother, nigga. Hmm. But anyway, um, last night, I kind of like wanted to make this a little more about the wholeness. I mean, the wholeness that I talk about. The last time I wanted to expand a little bit on the last tip that I gave out to you guys. So pretty much what I've been doing is, for those of you who may, if this is your first time, or I need to emphasize on what the purpose of doing this is. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's not for you to follow any one of those steps. So you have to fix self, which is pretty much one-sided. That looked at life in a very small way, right? And then you have you could call it higher self or your true self. Now that's looking at life on a cosmic way, right? So we have little, we have big on this side, okay? So what we're doing is trying to get you to come from that little way of looking at life and then to jump on that side and start looking at life in a bigger perspective, in a bigger way. Look at you. Yeah, nigga, we're trying to get your eyes to be like this. So like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's like that, you could might be able to peep a couple things, but when it's like this, you stay on shit. But anyway, uh goofy, crazy. But anyway, so that's in pretty much in a nutshell, that's what the purpose is. And it's to help you to understand that you're more than just your physical body, right? So that's the goal here. So when we talk about the true self, which is naturally in you, but unfortunately, due to the way your emotional patterns and then the way we're actually brought up in society in itself, it's more like you got to become something else for you to be acknowledged. Just like I talk about. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's needed though. Stick that shit in your mouth. Eat your food, motherfucker. It's needed. But anyway, what I'm also saying too is that, well, I mean, not also, well, yeah, also saying, hold on, man, hold on, man. Mm. So it's pretty much like if you understand this, that's why I talk about the tree of life versus the tree of good and evil. But that would be more on the occultist side of things. And the whole purpose of the occult, or be, of the occult pretty much is helping you to dive into that non physical side of yourself. And that's where, as you're diving into it, you get to understand what magic is. You get to understand what, what I'm saying, like the different entities are, your spirit guides, and all of that shit. Now, with that being said, listen, nigga, listen. I cannot talk about this without knowing about that. But I understand for you to get there, you got to go through this. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm talking to you about that, to open up your world. As you start to open up your world, that's when you're going to realize it's more than what you're looking at. Then that's when you're going to keep in touch with certain entities and, whatever. But that's down the line, baby. You know what I'm saying? Let's ah. let's just do let's just listen, a spoon at a time. Spoon at a time. Easy on yourself. But most importantly, too, what I'm also trying to want to talk about is, is the unification of that spiritual life in this physical flesh as well. Because a lot of spiritual masters, they tend to be like, when I'm talking about being the false self, what I'm saying, they identify that as the ego. I get it. Nevertheless, they're not saying anything wrong. They just how can I say this? I mean, I get what they're saying. It's just how they're saying it. That's not what they're trying to say. That's not what they're saying. If that makes any sense. So, so they label the false self as your ego, and your ego is not that. Mm-mm, not that at all. Because your ego is part of you, regardless of a limited spiritual views of shit, or more of a cosmic thing, because the ego pretty much what it does, you got to watch that video too. Okay, you got to watch that video too. Pretty much what it does is, it protects you. Now your ego goes as far as you go. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? But now let's get back to everything that I was talking about. So the last tip that I gave to you guys, so now that you have a better understanding, fake ego, I mean, fake self, I'm sorry. And it's only fake too. I mean, I got to emphasize on that too. Oh, apologize, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes, sir, ma'am. We're doing a taser on this side. Mm. But side note, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is kind of needed for me, man. Like, can you imagine, like, all fucking day I've been fucking reading, studying, being in that fucking world? And for me, just a side note, you know what I'm saying? Like, at first, when I first started reading, right, and that started at a very young age, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad had a fucking library in the house. I mean, not really a library, but this nigga had a lot of books. So that's why you just got to honor the fucking ancestors. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways, because I'm also reflecting him here too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what I'm trying to say is now it's just like fucking like it would take me like before it would probably take me a day or two to fucking actually read a book. Now it's like god damn, it's like I'm exploring the book. It's just fucking crazy, dog. Now I'm talking literally like 100-page book would take me fucking 2 to 3 months. I'm fucking like enjoying the journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting into the author's fucking mind. I'm deciphering. Anyway, it's just a side note. Just a side note. But anyway, let's get back to it, right? So, I guess what I was also saying is, after a long day, Nate, mm, and we staying there tonight too. I'm still young. You never know. You never know, baby. You never know. But let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Then I realized, last night video I didn't really emphasize, or I didn't really talk too much about the wholeness thing. I mean, even though I did tell you what it was, but we know, like, I've decided to take a couple examples. That's what the shit is about. 15 minutes. God, I talk too much. But I love that shit though. But anyway, so the tip pretty much, as you understand, from having a limited perspective now to having more of a global view, right? So I've been pretty much giving you tips, but those tips, again, it's not for you to follow. It's not cemented. It's not the Bible. It's none of that shit. But it's based on my understanding, the shit that I went through, because I also understand the purpose of you getting aligning to your true self. You have to open up yourself by going in. So when you start learning about, the tree of life, of the knowledge of the heart that open up your world, it aligns you to come closer to your true self. And that's what those tips are. But if you understand what I'm talking about here, you could bypass all that shit, player. I said the game is yours, man. You know what I'm saying? But again, but I also understood too, because that's what the spirit also reveals to me too. Like, and that's why it took me a little, sometimes for me to actually come out and do a lot more videos, because I was focusing more on myself, and I was pretty much, in so many words, saying fuck you motherfuckers, because of the way that I was, and not realizing how good looking I was. I mean, I knew I was good looking, but I didn't know how good looking I was, if you see what I'm talking about. So what I'm referring to is pretty much like, me coming out of the closet, in a sense of, I guess, sharing, or becoming a teacher, in so many words, which I don't like that term anyway. But sharing my path with you, and understanding, pretty much comes from understanding that it's more than just myself, right? And people are not the way that I am, because the way that I am was, I was always curious, like, what the fuck? I want to understand what, like, that shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much like my curiosity, led me to become, in so many words, a scholar, and a truth seeker. You know what I'm saying? All that bullshit. Mm-hmm. Mm. Let me get mine, nigga. I've been giving you. Let me get mine. So now, with that being said, that's why we're here. So understanding, it's kind of like I was in that journey, understanding, like, fuck, because I'm doing this, why nobody else is doing that. You know what I'm saying? But then not everybody's the same. But I had to realize that. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. So that's why we're here, baby. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it. So now, again, to get back to what I was talking about. So for you to understand pretty much what I'm talking about here is, the fake self, or why we call it the false self, it's only because it is one-sided, right? It's being conditioned. Because if you really want to be honest, or if you really can see what's in front of you, is that life is made of good and bad. Bad is not bad, not necessarily. A bad could be good, and good could be bad. So that is just life. You see it, it's in front of you. You go through it. However, you don't process it, only because your consciousness is not. It's not. What's the word here? It's not gearing towards that, I guess. You know. So as a result, you develop that. Not just you. I did too. You know what I'm saying? That's why I could talk about it. That's how I understand it. That's why. I mean, shit. I mean, yeah, I read all about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But understanding it is different. You know what I'm saying? But again, reading about it and for you to understand it, that's the purpose of reading about it too. So listen, it's all one. It's all one. But anyway, now with that being said, so we talked about the purpose of you aligning yourself to your true self is for you to open up your mind, right? So because your true self, it's I mean, what's the word here? He'll come to me. You know what I'm saying? He'll come to me. But anyway, so you have when you start to understand there's positivity and negativity and everything. So it's kind of like you teaching your old self, oh no, I mean, there's more than what I think it is. And that's the expansion. And that's what's guiding you towards your true self, right? Oh, I don't have to be perfect because life is made of success and failure. In fact, your failure will determine your success. So you got to fail and not afraid of being failing or failing either. That's the main thing. Because a lot of you, what hurts you also blesses you. The cure of the pain is in the pain. Endure the pain. See, y'all, some of you motherfuckers don't know how to pray or don't know how to talk to God, don't know how to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You looking to avoid the pain, but that's not the way to go about it. The pain is what's gonna take you to the next level. The failure, that's what's gonna take you to the next level. And a lot of people who understand that about life, when you talk about the guy with the light bulb, whatever the fuck his name is. Oh, I mean, white man, but they say it was a white black man. Whatever the fuck. I'm not getting into that. But the bottom line is, he was asked, about the light bulb. But to make a long story short, his response was, no, I'll learn how not to actually create, the light bulb, whatever the fuck it is. So, in so many words, he was a guy who was aligned, who understood failure is not failing. It is part of life. Do you see you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so the purpose of that, his mind had to be open to failing. So therefore, he had to look from that limited perspective. His perspective was expanded. And that's why he was able to do that. But we're not talking about why you got to be able to do nothing. It all comes down to your life and seeing it how things really are. Because part of what Maya or this earth is that everything is a fucking illusion. Meaning, the way you're looking at it, that's not the way it is. We're not talking about being fake here. Fake is two different things. We're just saying what you think it is, that's not what it is. In fact, quantum physics coming out letting you know what you think is material is condensed energy. That's why you got to move by faith. Like once you start to understand that, then you could get into the Bible and understanding what the Bible is really talking about. Better yet, you would understand what the occultists are talking about, because the occultists are, or I mean, it's pretty much somebody like me who understands that, or any occultist for that matter. And let me take myself out. You know what I'm saying? I'm chill. I'm gonna take a sit back. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much, for you to understand that not only that you're more than what you're looking at, but what you don't see is what controlling what you're looking at. You see what I'm saying? So that's why spirituality is not way up there and then your life is way down here. Because your life is that you are part of all of this. You are all of this. See, for me personally, like that's why when people call other people dead people, I get what they're saying. But I also understand what they're also saying is that someone who's not spiritually developed, because in reality there's no dead people, but you become dead when you're not growing, when you're not developing that side of you. Thus, you get the term dead people. But in reality, they're not really dead because the spirituality is in everybody, but they are spiritually underdeveloped. That's what that is. Mm-hmm. So, in so many words, I'm also saying the motherfucker that called you dead, he's not wrong. Even though you're not really dead. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing nothing wrong here. Nobody's wrong here. No one is dead. But you got to understand the, I mean, the idea, I mean, not necessarily the idea, but understanding like the way that they're saying what they're saying, because that's what I came to realize about a lot of spiritual masters. Like what they're saying is on point, but how they're saying it and what they mean by saying what they're saying, that's when it gets okay, okay. Now I get what you're saying because we got the hoodie over here, but we got to realign everything, right? But anyway, fast forward. So we're talking about, so now you understand the purpose of aligning to yourself is to open up your mind, pretty much. So the tips I've been giving you, so it's pretty much for you, I'm trying to give you a couple of things for you to eat from the tree of life, which is what? Oh, guess what? Life is positivity and negativity. What's negative can be positive. What's positive can be negative. Okay. So now let's take it a step further. Now, if you really understand that, so it should put you in a gray area. You should be right in the middle. Now, as you are in that middle, there's a progression in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, I love that saying. Every drop makes a pond. Do you understand what I'm saying? So therefore, what I'm also saying is every small little changes that you're making in your life will amount to something. Don't, count out, like the small steps. As a baby, man, listen, it was those small steps that help you. Now you running. You don't even remember that shit. You're running now. Look at you. You running ass motherfucker. But anyway, hold on, plan. Get my shit. Mm-hmm. 28 minutes. God damn it. So let's dive into it. Because I'm not gonna do the same thing I did last night. So wholeness. So we pretty much talk about understanding that the gray area, there's a progression into it, and then you have to center yourself because as you go along, because listen, you've been doing this shit for 10 years, right? Hypothetically speaking, and now you're looking to make a change. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, I get it. The gray area, the small steps get you, you know, t- to the bigger steps. But now you have to center yourself. Take a knee, understanding where you are. Now, as you're doing that, though, now this is the next tip that I gave you guys last night. Wholeness. Can I say wholenessness? The fucking word? Nigga, I'm Haitian. You know what I'm saying? English is not my strongest shot, but nigga, I'm trying. Mm. So, wholeness. What I was talking about, and what I was referring when I mentioned about the wholenessness pretty much was understand that you are more than just one thing, right? So, and I even use myself as a fucking guy that works, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, I went to school to be a fucking accountant. But as an accountant, I'm also a father, right? But I also have a family. And, I'm talking about not just family on my own, but, brothers, cousins, and all that shit, right? So the purpose of me saying this is to make you acknowledge, because sometimes our work, our job becomes us. But when you take a minute and pull back and be like, nah, man, like I'm also a father, which means, I gotta teach my daughter and my son. Oh, so love you guys. You already know. I don't know. Andrew. Handsome. What's going on, handsome? This nigga here, ladies, yeah, y'all gotta watch out. Cause this nigga, he smile, man. Unbelievable. I watched the boy, I'm like, damn, nigga, you handsome. But I gotta make you look better, though. Mm-hmm. Come get your medicine, nigga. Yeah, that's daddy talking to you. But anyway. Oh, I already got it for you too, just so you know too. You know what I'm saying? And you've been getting that shit too. But anyway, the homelessness, okay? So it's pretty much okay. Look at it this way. I don't know if anybody is familiar, because a lot of us we're familiar with hierarchy. But what I'm talking about here really is hierarchy. Hierarchy is a little bit different. We're talking about every okay, so I recently moved down to fucking Atlanta, right? So I live in fucking Atlanta. Let me take it a step back. I live in a social community, right? There is a community where I live. Now that community is part of fucking Atlanta. Now Atlanta, Georgia is part of the South. Now the South, it's part of fucking America. And America is part of fucking North America. And then you have other continent like the Asia, Europe, motherfucking Africa. And then guess what? They're part of the world. And then as part of the world, guess what you have? You have the solar system, you have the lunar system, whatever the fuck. So I'm saying all of this to say that we are living in a multi-dimensional environment or place. So when you understand homelessness and you apply it to your life, not only that it helps you to be grounded, but it gives you a broader perspective and allow you to align more to your true self. Because now that I'm able to see myself, not just a Haitian nigga living in fucking America, because it's bigger than that, as I just described, right? So the whole purpose of that is for you to understand that you're more than what you're doing. And again, you could tie that up. You could tie it up to that other side of you that you're not looking at. And that would allow you to align to your true self. You see where I'm going with this? So, you over here, you got many different hats to wear. So let's just put it this way. By me understanding that, and this is the lowest way that I mean not the lowest way, but I guess the I don't know, but I guess what I'm saying, it's not the most sophisticated way for me to describe this. But let's just say me working as an accountant, understanding that I am also a father, meaning that, my work is not going to be all of me. So I gotta. I mean, it's kind of retarded a little bit, but it's needed to be said because a lot of us, when we go in that persona, when you being one sided, you just don't see nothing else. So to me, I mean, it's kind of like obvious, and I'm saying this. This is why, you know, what I'm saying I need to humble down too, and this is why too I can't expect everyone to understand what I understand. You know, what I'm saying I'm getting. Listen, spirit humble me. You know, what I'm saying I'm like niggas. Okay, I got it. Not everybody's me. I get it. But that's why we're here, and that's what a lot of masters been doing. That's because they realized that. Not, oh, well, not just because they realized that they were not just themselves, but understanding, you know, what they're bringing forth is also liberating to others because not everybody is in that position to do so. Do you see what I'm saying? So, you know, so by me understanding that, it pretty much opened up my mind as far as, you know, how do I identify myself? Because there's so many different aspects of me. Another example would be, okay, so what's more important, your dick or your feet? Your face or your ass? You see what I'm saying? They all operate independently, but they are all part of one thing. That's the wholeness that I'm talking about. Right? So you could argue what you think is better, and that's what the competitive, you know, like if you watch the shows, a lot of the shows, that's really what they're talking about. What's better, your dick or your feet? Like what? What? My dick does and my feet does. You know, they're all part of me. And again, I'm just using the dick. You know, it could be pretty much anything else. Okay, well, I'll be wilding sometimes. So, but what I'm just saying, let us just say your head, right? Your head. But what about your emotional aspect? In so many words, when I'm talking about the wholeness, it's pretty much for you to reconcile your head and your heart because they go hand in hand. Well, what the fuck did I just say? Whatever the fuck. They go together. Did I say head in head? Okay. Never mind me. Never mind me. But anyway, to get back to what I was talking about though, more on a serious tip, because I'll be wilding, nigga. Mm. You know, by you pretty much I'm trying to help you or trying to tell you to include all of those different aspects of you. So when you start including those different aspects of you, guess what? If you are one-sided, so which means you neglected your true self, or what we call in the occult world, your wounded child. Now you're trying to include everybody. Come on now, your passion. Okay, you can still, you know what I'm saying? Your passion, your work doesn't define you. You also have your passion. You know what I'm saying? I understand the trend. You know what I'm saying? That's why it would be hard for you to ask a nigga like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, yeah. So what do you do? Just watch how a nigga, you know, like a nigga who probably don't even have a job. You know, well, right now we're sort of like in between. Oh, motherfuckers happy. Yo, I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you are more than just one thing. So to try to include those different aspects of yourself, and that's what I'm calling the wholeness. After taking the knee and you putting all that shit together, it's aligning you to your true self. You know, the self that is non-critical, the self that's looking to express itself in so many ways, the creative part of you. You know what I'm saying? That God aspect of you, your gifts. It goes by so many different names. But once you get it, it doesn't matter what the name of what the titles are. You know exactly what they're talking about. And me personally, you know, by understanding this, you know, using those different titles to get you to just be you. So it comes out, be you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. And I'm quite honest, being you, man, there's nothing like it. is so fulfilling. Because I also wanted to say, if you're following the trend, yo, listen, you're gonna be, in so many words, like there's some satisfaction to it. Hmm. Let's just say you're a fucking doctor. Oh, you're gonna feel good, nigga, but it's not fulfilling. Or if you're a lawyer, well, the only reason, here's something else too, and I'm glad that I'm saying that I'm fucking Haitian because so you guys can understand. Like coming from a Haitian perspective, like the way we've been, brought up is, what I'm saying, like some of the shit that matters are for you to be either a doctor, a lawyer, what I'm saying. That's how you are respected in society. Right. But it's not just Haitian, but I guess, a little bit of my background, and understanding things and hearing and seeing what motherfuckers are talking about. I'm like, okay, that's what they talking about. That's what they talking about. Hold up a minute. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take out this thing. Bam. Now we're in business for profit, nigga. Mhm. So if you see me using the term doctor or lawyer, I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's. I mean, not pretty sure. I've seen the same shit in the states, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you got to become something else to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like a nigga. Like I'll give you a perfect example. Like in Haiti, you know what I'm saying? Being a fucking musician, it's like, oh my god. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. In fact, my dad, just to give you, some small shit, because we're doing our shit. 41 minutes. Let me get back to it. Well, shit, let me get back. Damn, man. That should be going too fast. But also, most importantly, too, like the reason I realized, what I'm saying, I don't want to go too long and talk about some shit. Y'all motherfuckers won't be able to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, well, anyway. Anyway, so to include that in your life, gives you a broader perspective or help you to get closer to your true self. And in reality, and that's what makes us like the human being in itself, it's so complex. It is. And that's why, for me personally, I don't dissociate spirituality from my human life because they complement each other. You know what I'm saying? So, to recap real quick, because, what I'm saying, they got to eat. You know what I'm saying? We're doing out days, it's Friday and Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? And I think I might be staying. And, so, what we're really talking about here is expanding, coming from a one sided perspective to more of a broader perspective. And by me providing you with those tips, it's pretty much to enable you to see things on a bigger scale. And that's pretty much what that is. So when you include everything, you understand that, what I'm saying, even though, oh shit, I could even use, I think I used enough example, but I'll use this other example, right? So being an accountant, so being in that finance department, then you have operations, right? Then you also have the marketing department, right? That all operate differently on different. They're all pretty much what's the word here? Autonomous? Yeah, autonomous, independent, whatever the fuck, right? But at the end of the day, they all come in for the company. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I was using that dig and feet fucking example, the, like really, like, would you rather keep your dick and your feet? Nah, I want to keep both of them because they do separate things. But again, what I was referring to, that one-sided part, and that's where the shows are coming from. That's where all of this shit are coming from. It's like you gotta have that one thing. It's got to be done that one way. But no, your feet, your eyes, your fingers, and everything, they all do separate things, but all part of you, and they are all important. All important. That's the wholeness. and understanding that it prevents you from judging, but now you're including, integrating pretty much everything. And that's what makes you whole. Therefore, for you to become the holy man, which is the perfect man, meaning you have embraced, sorry, you have embraced your physical self and your non-physical self. You have embraced batteries. Well, I need to say more. The battery that starts your car, or any type of bad fucking batteries, there's a positive, there's a negative. They both have to work together. So we're talking about the wholeness here. And the positive does certain things, the negative receives, the positive gives. Men, women, we all come together. We complement each other. Not a competition. Not, not, oh my God, I could do what a man does. Okay, fine, good. You will get this. You know what I'm saying? You rocking. mm, we're talking about the bigger picture here. And that's what was going to align you to, in so many words, like, that will conduce you to, or that would push you forward your true self. But again, if you understand everything I'm saying, though, like, this is just little crumbles that I'm saying to make a point, which I already made the point. But that's part of the journey. It's collecting those little crumbles, and then you're having that aha moment. So, with that being said, I hope that I expanded a little bit more. I mean, or maybe not. If I don't, then you'll see me talking about wholeness again tomorrow. But anyway, we're just gonna let it flow. You know what I'm saying? Oh, in fact, I read this shit. What did it say? It says life with money isn't as good as life with life without money isn't. Whatever the fuck, right? So pretty much what I'm trying to say is like finding that medium point, right? So, and that's in everything. Motherfuckers that got a lot of fucking money, guess what? They commit suicide. So life with money isn't as good as life without money isn't. So you got to find that balance, and that's what we're talking about here in so many words by including everything, right? So having that type of perspective, now it's like, oh yes, you're still gonna get it, but yet you're more balanced, if that makes any sense. There's an internal fulfillment that is being taken place, and that's what I'm talking about here. So again, Patreon will be out shortly. Damn, 48 minutes. God damn. Then, I will tell you guys a little bit more about it. Most likely in the very next video, I'll be able to tell you to provide you with the Patreon link, which is already created. However, I'm tweaking, trying to come up with different packages for you guys, and there's a couple things that I'm thinking about, adding on there. And when you become a Patreon member, at the end of the month, you will definitely get a free consultation with me. So I want to have a free consultation, but also a consultation package, and it's pretty much being packaged. So with that being said, again, wholeness, you have to include that into your life. You're more than just your job and everything else, and by including that, it helps you not to negate certain aspect of you. Because sometimes, like we see that shit all the time in fucking movies, right? Like the dad's concerned about making the money, but the kid is like, Dad, what's up with me, nigga? Like, yo, I'm feeding you, that's what's up. So that's being from the one-sided perspective. You know what I'm saying? But that's all of you. So therefore, by you being in that state of mind, not only allows you to live more of a fulfilling life, but also embracing different aspect of you and being the best you. Now, with that being said, I got some shit to do, niggas. Mm-hmm. And you know how I roll out. I sing. Ali.